Tracy from SarahDarkMagic.com here, and today I want to talk about probably more just at an introductory level this book, Brindlewood Bay by Jason Cordova. It's an RPG. You play one of the murder mavens, which are elderly women who have, as far as I know, retired. Their partners have passed away. Their kids have all left the nest. And they are part of a mystery book club at a local bookseller, and they start solving mysteries within town. So definitely, you know, think Murder, She Wrote, a little bit of, you know, Miss Marple, and stuff like that. And quick thing to know about it is that a lot of the game mechanics are, you know, inspired by, if not outright powered by, the Apocalypse type mechanics, but there's really like multiple layers to the system. So there's that typical gameplay part that's very much powered by the Apocalypse aspects, as well as also there's a structure to the sessions that helps reinforce the cozy vibe of these elderly ladies solving mysteries and investigating things. And there's the mystery system itself. So there's a how to get the clues, how to solve a mystery, and then there's a campaign arc portion of this as well. So while you're doing these cozy mysteries like we saw in Murder, She Wrote and everything, there's also, as evidenced by this cover, this Cthulhu-esque aspect, the horror, occult type stuff that's going on. Another thing to know is Brindlewood Bay is set in the state of Massachusetts in this. So, you know, very much pulling into that old shipping, whale hunting, coastal aesthetic for that. And as you can see here, here's a map of Brindlewood Bay with a bunch of items in it. Now, I'm not going to flip through the entire book, but so just to give you an idea of the book for this one. So this is a table of contents. There's the introduction to gameplay basics and the Maven moves. A lot of that covers, you know, the structure of the session, particularly after starting with session 2. The moves, which are, you know, the way, the mechanics for how a lot of action is mechanically done within it. And then the keeper, here is that's like a game master or a storyteller. This is the person that's handling the NPCs, helping move along the game, giving structure to the game. The Dark Conspiracy, Midwives of the Fragrant Void, Advanced Endings and Servitors, and the Children of Persephone, those are all tied to that campaign arc portion of the game and setting. And then there's a mystery section, so there's some pre-done mysteries that are already in here for you to play. And then there's a whole chapter, a few pages here dedicated just to how the first session should go. So this introduction covers a lot of that. And there is a content warning with the game, so for the most part, there's a lot of coziness in this game. Like, you have hobbies, you call them your cozy activities, you have a cozy space, and that has your items. That's basically like your is one way to look at it, is an inventory of stuff that can be mechanically significant. But there is also this very much like horror aspect to it. There can be a lot of sensitive subjects that come up as part of it, and this is okay. This is a very narrative-driven game, and so just know that that's going to be in there, right? I'm not going to go too much into the gameplay basics right now. Maybe I'll cover that in another video or a blog post. But you can see this is like atmospheric art is just great in this. One thing I do want to say is they do talk through the anatomy of the character sheet overall. So the character sheets aren't included in the book. I did have to download them separately. But you can go through all of that. Another big thing, just while it's called out here, is that a lot of agency is given to players over when and if their character dies or gets retired. and that's this the crown aspect of it. And then this is in the gameplay basics section. It does talk about the structure of play. So like the whole structure is intended to reinforce those feelings of coziness with the dips into the horror. So you'll do a recap if there's any cliffhangers from the previous one. You can begin the session and usually do some cozy vignettes. You present a new mystery, you have an investigation, any crown scenes, and then the end of the session and debrief. So I had to point out just this specific artwork, which I just thought was great. Some other artwork that I thought was great is here. And there's a lot of great NPCs and world building all available from chapters in the book. And this is another great piece of art. This section is in the advanced part, and it's a lot of information about how to these are the sendings, like, so kind of like rituals that can happen that the midwives can do. And then I thought this was a really cool section too. So these are servitors that are monstrous entities, and you can roll dice to figure out what they are if that's what you want. So I thought that was a lot of fun. So the next section I'd like to go into is just the mysteries. I'll just look at the data overboard. This is the introduction. This is the one that they recommend you introduce players with. So there is this whole aspect of, you present the mystery. They have a scene here that's kind of presented, questions to think about as part of it. And then it's a bunch of moments that are tied to the mystery to help explain it. And then there are suspects that are detailed out, and each suspect has a quote. And then each mystery will also have a bunch of locations that are part of that. That doesn't mean everything happens here, but it helps. One of the reasons that Jason Cordova wrote this is he wanted a game that he could play with little, or as little as possible, of preparation time. So he wasn't spending a lot of time, preparing for each session. So a lot of things like this. So there's the clues. One thing to know about this game is that the clues aren't necessarily going to point you to a particular suspect. The key part of it is just over time, as the clues get revealed, is the players coming together and creating an explanation for it, and that's the solution to the mystery. And it also includes some void clues. These tie into that overarching campaign area. So yeah, some more great art. So there's a bunch more mysteries, and then there's this chapter, session 1, that talks through, how you approach to the very first time of running this. And what I think is really great about this as well is that if someone is fairly new to being a game master or something like that, it really helps you sit down and think through what you need for each thing, including a really full list of play materials. And things it does talk about is an introduction of cats, which actually I hadn't heard of before, and it helps with expectations of how the game should be going, and then some safety tools, including the X card. They create their characters together, you introduce them, and you create a cozy little place for each character. And then you do your break, a little bit about lines and veil, or any lines and veils that were told to you. So again, going back to like the safety tools and stuff earlier, you do the beginning of session, your cozy vignettes, and then you present the mystery. You can do the investigation for however long you get through in your session. Crown scenes, that's when you take on a crown. you have to go through some text and prompts basically, and reply to them during these scenes. And yeah. So really brief intro. The appendix has media recommendations, like shows and books that might be interesting to think about, and then a crash course, some of the, for instance, Murder, She Wrote type crash course. So let me know what you think about this, if there's anything in particular you'd like to know more about, and see you all soon. Thanks. Bye.